Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture, just to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, we have caught up, y'all. We are caught up. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be on camera, but I am going to tell you about P Valley. Season 2, episode 1. At this time, I can't remember what the episode's name is, but I'm going to put it down there at the bottom so you can see it, just to be true to character. But listen, let's go over season 2, episode 1. When it starts off, we see a family. Looks like there's a birthday party. There's a whole bunch of kids there. The man in there decides to tell everybody he's going to the store for something. He's going out for something. At first, I thought he was a new character. I was like, oh, Lord, we're introducing new characters quick. However, he was just the character to get us to the pink. He leaves the home and he comes to a crossroads. I thought that was really funny. He looks up and you see Mercedes' mama, old Patricia Woodbine, thieving ass, her church, and then you see a sign towards the pink. He goes toward the pink, and baby, they are over here. Now, mind you, COVID is a character in this episode. COVID is a character in this episode. So we see them working and navigating around the COVID restrictions. So basically what they thought of was to do, because you remember in season 1, they did car washes, and I think that was very successful for them. So this is basically what they've done. They've done car washes, and but as the cars go through, you get to see the different strippers, and then towards the end, or towards, the rent cycle of it all, you see Mercedes, and she does her little, her dance. She does her thing, and honey, it is all elaborate with fire coming out of her shoes and everything. It's elaborate, and then you get some free wings at the end. So we see that the pink is adjusting. So you remember at the end of the last season, we see that Haley, aka Autumn, bidded out the casino for the property. And so the casino bill basically just went to hell, because without the pink, they were not going to be able to secure this deal. So we see that. We also see that Haley is living with Mercedes, and that's going okay. But we also learn that Keyshawn and Gidget are no longer with the pink, because you remember at the end of the last episode, Murder Night, we saw that Keyshawn pulled a gun out on Diamond when Diamond was trying to quasi protect her from her man and her husband, and we see how that worked out. You know, he's trying to be noble, but then she pulls a gun out on him, trying to help her out. We also see that Mercedes, we see some flashback things of episodes that she's feeling some kind of way about what happened at the pink. She went to her mother for redemption, and her mother told her, well, you told me I was dead to you. And so she's not getting anything. And that is so sad to me, that their relationship is the way it is. And it's because of her mom. I know a lot of times we as Black women don't want to have to shoulder the blame of how our children turn out, and then our behaviors toward our children. But you can see that Patricia Woodbine is for herself and has always been for herself. But she has been able to manipulate Mercedes to the point that unless Mercedes get her some therapy and get herself healed, her mother's going to always be able to manipulate her and disappoint her. And in turn, that's causing some problems, particularly with Mercedes and her own child, because she's repeating that pattern. She's disappointing her child because there's so many things that she just won't do to get healed. Okay. So we also find out some facts and things like that, that the old mayor who was played by Isaiah Washington has succumbed to COVID. And with him dying, Wyatt Kyle, you remember the one that pulled the gun out on Andre and Corbin? He is now the interim mayor. And child looked like he done dyed his hair, or his hair grew. It's something about him that looks different and weird at the same time. He is trying to maneuver and get himself in a position where that the casino bill comes back into play, because if it doesn't come back to play, he knows that him and his brothers will not get any money. And they're mad at the their biracial brother for putting a kink in their dreams in the first place. We see also, we catch up with Lil Murder, and we see that Lil Murder and Keyshawn have done an album together. But we also see too that Lil Murder is having some problems with Uncle Clifford. Because you remember our last season, in Murder Night, Lil Murder slightly swerved Uncle Clifford in regards to getting this deal with this record label. And it doesn't look like he took the deal, because part of the deal required for him to change managers, and it doesn't look like he's done that. And he's stuck with the manager that he's had. I think, which is the bad decision. Between the old manager and this new manager, and even with that bad 360 deal, I think he should have chosen the new manager, because at least the new manager was going to be working towards getting his artists prepped to get out there. I think the old manager, the one that works at the nursing home, I think he's just feeling some kind of way, that because he has realized that Lil Murder is bisexual, and he wants to promote him because he feels like his music is good, but he doesn't want to promote him because he has his own personal issues in regards to Lil Murder's sexuality. I think that's the way it appears to me. As we go on, Uncle Clifford, and it was let me see what was going on with Uncle Clifford. No more so than his grandmother was wanting some of the mayor's third girlfriend's chitlins. So he made it a point to go over there to the home during the repast to pick up some of her chitlins. We also get reintroduced to Andre, and we get reintroduced to Andre's wife. And y'all, Andre's wife is going through it, because you remember, she is a doctor. So all through COVID, she's been basically taking care of COVID patients, and those COVID patients have been dying. Honey, she's got that little mask acne, and she's doing everything she needs to do to try to keep Andre safe, because she's living downstairs in their home and he's living upstairs. And I guess she was expecting for him to to do something in her refrigerator. I can't remember what it was, but she had to come upstairs, and you can tell that she is just going through it with all of that. And Andre just seems to be oblivious to it. He's in his own world and his thing, because he's lost his job with the casino because the deal didn't go through. But he seems to be still be in contact with Haley, aka Autumn. His wife just seems to be going through it. She's oblivious. Well, he finds out that his godfather, who was the mayor of Chucalissa, has passed away. And his wife is like, you're not going over there. You're not going to there, because, we might get infected. And I've been doing everything I can to keep you from getting infected and all this other stuff, because she is going through it. And Andre is a little oblivious to her needs. I still think he has a soft spot for Haley. And that has been confirmed. Because, they have this weird tie, or this weird relationship. I don't know if it's, because like we saw in last season, I don't think it parlayed into something actually sexual. But they have a weird tension. And I don't think his wife has really picked up on it. But when she picks up on it, coupled with the fact that she's dealing with all of these dying patients, Andre better tuck his head under, because she is gonna wear him clean out. Let me see. We got Uncle Murder and DJ Neville. They going over some beats and stuff like that. Now, what's interesting is, he is really praying and manifesting to get him out of the current situation that he's in, as far as his life and lifestyle. Because there was a point in this episode where a car pulled up on Lil Murder's house, and the people were asking him about when he's going to do his next album, when is he going to do his next single. And there was somebody in the back seat that kind of gave him the heebie-jeebies. He kind of looked and everything like that. He was on guard. He had his gun in his back, in his waistband and stuff like that. He was on guard. So I am thinking that if Lil Murder don't get up out of Chuckalisa pretty soon, Chuckalisa is going to take over Lil Murder. I really do believe that. We also have Diamond. He's not working at the Pink right now. He's working at the dollar store, and he ran into Keyshawn, and Keyshawn was trying to explain her position, and he was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And the girls at the Pink don't really fool with Keyshawn, because they felt like, she pulled a gun out of family. Trying to save her, the guy who's been beating her, who continues to beat her. And she has chosen that over being with, not being with Diamond, but being safe. And partly, just watching this episode, I'm getting the conclusion that, I don't know, y'all help me out with this. With Keyshawn, Keyshawn has a place that she wants to go. And I think she thinks that if she's in the circles of white people, that's going to help her position and get her where she wants to go. And it doesn't matter what type of white person she gets with. I don't know. I don't even know that. Y'all help me out. I don't remember any flashback scenes on how Keyshawn met Derek. But it gives me an old high school love affair. She was a cheerleader. He was a football player. And she thought that he was going to be able to take her to a different level or a different echelon as far as with class. And that didn't happen. And she thought his whiteness was going to do that. But he gives me very, very mediocre, and I feel sorry for myself kind of white guy, because everybody else is doing stuff that I need to be doing, and he's been taking it out on Keyshawn. And that just scares me, because I think there's going to be a level of escalation that even Keyshawn is not going to be aware of. So let's move on. We have the mayor's funeral, and I'm not going in any order. I'm just talking about it as it comes. We have the mayor's funeral. It's a sight. It's a show. That lime, they had their little lime green on. It was interesting. Corbin Kyle came to Andre to give him a retainer, because he's wanting him to help him get that casino deal back on track. And that means if he does that, if Andre does that, he is going to be in very obvious conflict with Haley, / Autumn, and what her dreams and desires are. So that's going to be interesting. There are probably some other things that I'm overlooking, but overall, this episode was decent. I do appreciate that they made COVID a character in this show. Just really quick, because I guess it was Montravius that died, but I don't know who killed Montravius. And you remember at the end of the episode of Murders, there were shots fired, and then, they had to clean the cloud room up to a different level because of the fact that he was shot. So I don't know if it was Haley that shot him, aka Autumn, or if it was Mercedes. The way Mercedes was acting when she was around her mother when they showed that little flashback scene, I'm inclined to believe it was Haley. And also too, I mean not Haley, but Mercedes, and also too because of the fact that she had some kind of shoulder injury that's still acting up after this time. So I am making the assumption that it may have been Mercedes that shot and killed Montravius. It looks like Big L and Diamond got rid of the body. Now, how they got rid of the body, I don't know. And that might be an interesting plot throughout this season, because just let me tell it. So these are my predictions. Let me tell it. That body is going to surface. And everybody's going to start asking questions about who this body is and in regards to Montravius. I think that Haley and Uncle Clifford are going to bump heads about the direction of the pink. I think Andre, his wife, and Haley, there's going to be, I don't want to say it's a love triangle, but it's going to be an interesting triangle in regards to Andre figuring out if he wants to stay with his wife or if he wants to be involved with Haley, but also having Corbin on his back about getting this casino deal back on track. There's going to continue to be some real big tensions between Lil Murder and Uncle Clifford, because Uncle Clifford wanted, he believed Lil Murder when Little Murder said that he was ready to live this relationship out loud and in public, and then that's not what's going. So he's been curving Lil Murder, and Lil Murder has been feeling some kind of way about it. You know, and with Keyshawn acting as his quote unquote beard in the rap game. But overall, like I said, this episode was interesting. It did kind of tie up a few things, just in terms of where they're going in regards to this casino, because that is the biggest plot about this whole situation, the casino and everyone's relationships with the girls. I also wanted to mention too that Haley, aka Autumn, being the person in charge, she is now interested in hiring 2 new girls, because you remember Gidget's, well, if I hadn't told you, Gidget's mother passed away, so Gidget moved to Arizona, so she's stripping in Arizona. And like I said, Keyshawn has stopped stripping, and she's on social media. Now, I'm confused if she's, because she keeps talking about that they're not making any money. Did she not go on OnlyFans? That just kind of interested me. She didn't go on OnlyFans? That would have been the best situation for Keyshawn. For her to go on OnlyFans and for her to make that money on OnlyFans. Because I'm telling you, just her trying to get her numbers up from social media, her better bet was to have gone on OnlyFans, charged $5. She could have charged $3, and they'd have been out of chuckle. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of this episode. Again, this is season 2, episode 1. I am caught up. So we are on point for season 2, episode 2 when it comes out. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this video. Tell me what you thought of our new season of P Valley. And I will be with you next time with the video. I may do it as a watch along, season 2, episode 2. Y'all let me know down in the comments how you'd like it. And as always, people, bye-bye.